Jello on the beat.
Yeah, the real shop talk. Just come and take a listen. Some grown men with unbiased and honest opinions, and with no agendas, so you just gotta check it. Talking love and life from a male perspective. We keep it authentic, real, no filter. Leave a comment, be part of the show. We here to give you 5 gentlemen's views about manhood, no doubt. This the show you've been needing, yeah, it's the real shop talk. Let's go.
Hey everybody, we are back. We are back. It is the Real Shop Talk every Monday 8 p.m. and today is gonna be amazing, guys. We're gonna celebrate our brother Tony Massey. We gonna get down deep into the nitty gritty of who this man really is. And before I start the show, we're going to ask you guys, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Make sure you get the notifications. And if you like the content, put that thumbs up. And let's beat these algorithms. Make sure that I believe we're over 200 subscribers now. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tony Watts.
203.
We're what? Say it again.
203.
203. Yeah. So guys, let's go. Let's try to hit that 300, man. We want to keep growing and giving you amazing content. So like, subscribe, click the bell. Then what you want to do is you want to invite 5 of your friends and ask them to do the same thing. If you love the content, I'm sure they will too. So let's get into this, guys. I see you guys coming in. I'm going to ask you guys to do something for me very shortly in the comments. So stand by. Make sure you invite everybody you know, not just because we're celebrating Tony, but just because this show is going to be something that you're going to want to see, and your family and your friends are going to need to see, because this is a show where if this is your first time, this is not our normal format. We normally have topics that we discuss, but we've taken the time once every month to celebrate one of our co-hosts here. And today we're going to talk all about Mr. Tony Massey. We're going to have some fun with this show. We're going to learn some things. We're going to share some things, and we're going to have some fun. So Tony said this is uncomfortable. It's your turn, sir. I was in the hot seat first. It is your turn. And you have earned and deserved every minute of this, sir. So this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go around, do some brief introductions, some brief initial comments, and then we're going to get this thing going. So first, my name is Derek Jones. I'm a certified life and relationship coach. I'm also the host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast every Wednesday at 8 p.m. And today we're going to have some fun with this thing, y'all. So I'm going to pass it over to Gunter Man.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? I am Gunter Man. I am the host of the Gunter Man Show every Thursday night, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time on Instagram Live at Racobin Gunter Jr. You can read right there. But it's not about me today. I'm a relationship life coach, but this is the dude right there. This is all about him. So I'm looking forward to chopping him up, serving up all the love on a silver platter. T. Watts.
Well, I guess it's on me. My name is Tony Watts. I'm the host and owner of Triumphant TV. That's all you guys need to know at this point. We're going to throw it down to John because it's all about Team Massey tonight. Let's go.
Whoop, whoop. I'm John Singletary, host of the Help Myself podcast. And like all the other fellas said, man, that's neither here nor there. We are excited to give honor and praise where honor and praise are due, man. So I'm excited. We got a show lined up for all of you and for our brother over here. So we're excited.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to let Tony Massey say a few words, since this show is all about him, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. So Mr. Tony Massey.
Yes. Man, this is so uncomfortable. It's funny because my love language is words of affirmation, but I am horrible. My wife is listening. She can tell you I am so bad at receiving anything. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to expect. I know what goes into putting a show like this together. And I'm terrified. That's all I got. I'm terrified, but I'm very much appreciative. The social media, the videos and the post, man, it's so humbling to be celebrated like that. If that was the end of it, I would have been like, yo, that's like, these are my flowers right here. And so
you got more flowers coming, brother.
Well, I wanted to like the post from all 3 of my Instagram accounts just to emphasize how much I loved it. So I appreciate you, brothers, man. I appreciate your friendship and your love and your understanding and your patience more than anything. And so this tonight is just, it's icing on the cake, because you've already shown me a level of brotherhood that I haven't really experienced in a long time. So for that, I say thank you so much.
We appreciate you too, bro.
I'm gonna mute myself.
So this is what I want you guys to do. People that are in the comments, leave a comment, leave a kind words for Tony Massey. Let us know, how he may have impacted your life in some way or changed your perspective on something, because he's definitely changed some perspectives out here. So leave a kind word in the comments, and I'll read those later, and I'll reiterate that as people come in. But we're gonna get right into the show. The first thing that I'm going to do, because Tony Massey is the one that normally curates a lot of these shows, the last 2 shows that we've done, and so I took a little beat from what Tony Massey does, and I created this little video in his honor. So we're about to go do this, guys. So stand by as we cue up the video, and I am going to, let's see here, stand by, because I haven't done it this way before. So we're going to play this little video, and then on the other side of it, we got some things that we're going to talk about. So stand by, guys.
Wait. You going to leave us up so they can see our faces?
You're damn right.
Man.
So here we go.
Fellas, when it comes to the woman in your life, you can't keep playing both the villain and the hero.
Hey, whoa, what are you doing? Get up. You got this. You can do this. Yes, you. You can do this. You were chosen for this. You're not cursed. You were selected for this. You're not being singled out. Every single thing that you go through, no matter how difficult, is just a setup. You're being set up for the lesson and then the blessing. Every single tragedy is just a foundation for a triumph. Once you go through something, then there's 2 things that happen. 1, you have the empirical evidence that yes, you can survive, and 2, you're so much wiser, and now you can teach others how to get through it too.
Yes. Yeah. So when you're working towards purpose, that which you want will find you. I'm hungry. I'm in the mood for chips and salsa. Tex-Mex style. I'm hungry. Pan-seared salmon topped with shrimp and an orange and rosemary sauce. I'm hungry. Steak night. Ribeye steak with grilled asparagus, sauteed portobello mushrooms, and sweet onions. I'm hungry. Asparagus, tomato, and cheese omelet. I'm hungry. Spinach and shrimp in a creamy wine and garlic sauce on top of roasted spaghetti squash.
But I want lobster.
With broiled lobster. Not to brag, but my enchiladas are the best. And there's 2 very good reasons why.
What's up, IG? So again, this is going to be great. Tonight, I'm going to take these beautiful whole red snapper. I had my fishmonger go ahead and clean them and remove all of the
So we love you, bro.
That was beautiful, man. That was amazing. I got to bring that little thing back. Then I'm hungry. I haven't been using that. I got to bring that back.
I was like, yo, this dude, every bit, like when you used to put them things on TikTok and everything, every time that thing was like, I'm hungry, and I was like, yeah, we got to put that in there, man. So moving right along, and get everybody in the comments, put a comment out about Tony Massey. If your experience of him, how he's impacted you, if he changed your perspective, what is your experience of Tony Massey, whether in person or virtual? So I'm gonna keep pumping that throughout the show as you guys come in. But we're gonna move right along because we got some things to say about our brother tonight. So, fellas, and Tony Massey, you gotta keep your mic on mute, okay? so fellas, we gonna go around and the first question I'm gonna ask is I want each of us to talk about our first impression of meeting Tony Massey and just our first impression. We're going to talk about some other stuff later, but we're going to talk about the first time you encountered him or that season and time of first meeting him. What was your first impression? What was your first thoughts of him? So I'm not going to go first. I'm going to let Gunter Man go first, and then I'll come back around later.
Yes, sir. Tony Massey. What it be, baby? That's right. Man. Now, where was I at that point? Tony Watts introduced us, said, let's do the show. I was the last piece of the puzzle. Then we started doing the show. I was at the place and space where I was already doing shows, and it seemed like every show that I was on, I was almost always probably one of the more dominant cogs in all the panelists. I was always the one kind of standing out. Then 5 guys of the real shop talking. I had to deal with the wordsmith, Mr. Got 3 books already. Like, oh, damn. Oh, see, I got to sit here and listen to this brother marinate from some angles that I didn't even think of. Like, wait, hold on. Nah. But I learned something called seek discomfort. Tony Massey, bro. Seeking discomfort. You show a level of vulnerability that's beyond compare. My first impression of you was, here's a man who shows up as a man, a guy's guy. You know, you look back at your old military, your arms are like diesels, you know? like you open beer like this, you know what I'm saying? My first impression was, here's this dude who comes off, could be like real hard, but he's willing to share sides and places and spaces of his life in a way that you would wonder, how the heck did he get a woman like that? And it's like, because typically you would think, you know, a power moving woman, a doer, like a real doer, like not just kind of just living. No, she's not just skating, she's dominating. You would figure that she would want her man to continue. You know, in your mind, culturally, you want a man that's always like, to kind of give her that same type of energy. But Tony Massey's like, yo, I did it my way. And I'm winning. So that's my first impression of Tony Massey.
T. Watts.
Yes. My first impression of Tony Massey, we're in a group that's pretty dope. And he was always making comments that would make me lift my eyebrow. I'm like, yo, all right, I see what this dude is doing. All right, I see him. But our first encounter, I don't know if he remembers, he said something biblically. And I was like, yo, whoa, time out. No, like, where you at? Yes, but this part of the thing is structured wrong, And he came back, it's like, yo, I'm not blah, 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 but I appreciate what you gave me. Let's move forward. And I was like, wow, I thought he was going to come out boxing, but he didn't. And it went back to prove all his comments that he had before then. His comments were solid. He always stayed, and I'll talk about that later. But he always stayed based. Like, some people get in that group and you see them flip-flop. Like, one day they was over here if that was the dominant statement. Then they was over here if that was the dominant statement. And you would call them out and be like, yo, but time out. 2 months ago, here's your post. Here's what you said. It don't add up what you're saying right now. Did you come to it? Oh, I never said that. Wait, hold time out. Post and paste. Here it is. This is what you said. But Tony stayed consistent. And so I'm gonna land right there because there's a lot more I can say, but I'm gonna land right there. That was our first encounter.
Yeah, we going first encounters, man. I never really, I didn't encounter Tony until the show. But I was a fan. I've been a fan. I was in a group with Tony Watts and Tony Massey. So all 3 of us come from Yancey's group. And I see this brother post, and I'd be like, yo, man, that dude is like a star, man. He's a celebrity. So like I was a fan. And then y'all were doing the cabs and combos. And I was just like, yo, man, this dude right here. And then Tony Watts did the Protecting the Black Woman. And it was the first one. He did two. Me and Derek Jones came in on the second one. But on the first one, he had you on there, T Massey, man. And you blew my mind, man, when you were talking about how women have to, like, Betty was talking about walking down the street and how she walks on a certain side so that she's always aware if somebody pulls up or something like that. And you related that to the PTSD and all of this, that, and the other. And I was just sitting there like, man, this dude is brilliant. And then the marriage show, I was too done after that. Done. So like, yo, when they were like, yo, you gonna come on the show with Tony Massey, I was fanboy and I was like, yo, I'm nervous, man. I get to meet somebody who I'm a fan of, man. But yo, like, man, I'm gonna land right there because, you know, again, like I said, we got more to say. We took it to another level. But yo, it's all love, man. Been a fan, still a fan.
So I chose to go last on purpose because I got a few things I need to say. I think when I first saw Tony, it was on TikTok, and Tony at the time, he had content mainly about relationships, and I heard one, and I was like, "Damn, this guy's good." Now I'm a dude, right? I got an ego. I'm like, this dude, he might just be better than me. I'm going down the comments. I'm going down this thing. I done watched about 25 videos. And I was like, you know what? I need to get this dude on my show, but this dude got a big following. He might not say yes. So I'm still following this dude. And I was like, you know what? I'm going in the DMs and I'm going to ask him, did he want to come on the show? He said yes immediately. He comes on the show, knocks it out. And we have, you know, every time we end the show, you know, you have the after talks, and you came on again on a panel, and I remember him saying, and me also saying, like, it's like I'm talking to my brother. I think there's a lot of similarities between us two, probably more alike than not. Probably some things we haven't even discovered yet, but I saw myself in him, and I remember feeling like, because Tony got an ego too, but so I think when Clubhouse came out, I think we were in a couple of different rooms together, and I remember being in a room that he just happened to come into, and I was running that thing, man. They was like, Derek got I like that point. This dude comes in the room, he starts talking, and they're like, yeah, we need Tony Massey back next time. Tony Massey, he gets it. And I was like, yo, I've been here for an hour, y'all. What the hell? This dude, when he comes in the room, he commands that stage in that room like I've never seen before. And I appreciate not only the strength that he shows, but the vulnerability. He does them both at the same time. Like it's crazy, but it works and it translates to people, and people always leave inspired. People always leave educated by what he says. And I value that because I tend to be a very cerebral and analytical. So I'm listening to his words and I'm like, yo, this dude is doing a whole calculus problem with words. And it's coming out in a way that people can understand it. And it's like, that's a skill that a lot of us don't have. So I'm going to land there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now we're going to allow you to come off mic, Tony Massey. But this is what I want you to talk about. I want you, as we saw in the video, there are different skill sets you have, you know, the cooking, the photography, the speaking, and it's probably a whole bunch of stuff we don't even know about. But I want these many facets of Tony Massey. What I want you to talk about is what inspires you and what motivates you to pursue these things. And the common thread amongst all of them is that there's a level of service underneath them all. So what drives you to kind of, because you basically what it looks like from the outside is that you have a lot of different interests and you're not afraid to try them. So I want you to speak to what inspires and motivates you to go after those things that you probably always want to do or dibble and dabble in, and why it's service underneath all of them, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the thing.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for your kind words, man. It's funny because you put stuff out there and you don't know who's watching, and you don't know who's receiving it, and you don't know how. And a lot of times we get so, one trend that I see a lot on TikTok is people will make a response video to negative comments, but don't even respond to positive ones, right? And so it's like we just allow negativity to feed our creativity. And that's not the whole point. It's supposed to be a positive experience, right? So I'm humbled that you guys not only watched me, but remembered what you watched. So I'm humbled that I was able to make that impression. I grew up in a very loving environment as far as my family is concerned, but it wasn't always conducive to exploring my talents and gifts, right? There was a time where I was in a little singing group called Fellas in high school. I've always loved poetry. I've always loved writing. I was on the debate team, so I've always loved speaking. I was in a couple of plays, so I loved theater. But being a young Black man from South Park, Houston, Texas, the focus was you need to get your education, you need to get a job, you need to, be able to support yourself, make some money. And so my dreams were kind of put on the back burner because it was seen as you don't have time for that. You got to get out. You got to get out the hood. You know what I mean? You got to get out there and actually make something of yourself. And then when you have time, then you can pursue your dreams and you can do all this other stuff that you want to do. And it wasn't until I had a son, shout out my son, Jordan, that I realized how backwards that is. Your youth should be spent on your dreams. Your youth should be spent on, just perfecting whatever craft that you feel, whatever talents that you feel like you've been blessed with. That's when you should do it, because that's when you're the most malleable. You're able to adjust and bend and make the put yourself out there without real fear. You know what I mean? Because everybody's awkward, right? And so I didn't have that chance. And so when my son came along, I fed and supported every desire he had, almost to the point of fault. Because if he said he wanted to do it, I was all in. So soccer, music, whatever. If he wanted to do it, I didn't just support it. I went on YouTube and learned how to play soccer and volunteered to be the coach. I bought him instruments. I turned my upstairs media room into a studio for him. I wanted him to pursue whatever was inside of him, because I never wanted him to feel like he couldn't do something, or that life was more important than living. And so now that I'm in, my 40s, the thing about passion is that it never goes away. I think of, the poem, A Dream Deferred. It doesn't go away. It stays where it is until you do something with it. And so now, although it's terrifying, because I don't always know what I'm doing, I've decided that I'm just going to do what I want. I'm going to pursue anything that piques my interest, and I'm going to be a student of it. And I'm going to learn it because I want to pay homage to the craftsmen who have been, working at this for years. So that's why I don't call myself a chef. I don't really call myself a photographer because I feel like those titles are reserved for the people who not just went to school for it, but they've been, grinding at this for years when I've only been doing this for, as an amateur for a little while. But then you get to a point where your product speaks louder than your humility. And that's when it gets really, weird. When you get all these accolades and then you start to suffer from that, what is it called? Imposter syndrome, right? Even though you're getting all of this affirmations, yes, it's great, you're doing a great job, you still feel like, well, I didn't formally train in this, I didn't do this. And then you reach that point where you're just like, I don't care, I'm not doing this for anyone else. And so the service part comes in where I don't ever want anyone, not just my son, but anyone, to tell their dream to someone and have it pushed down or set aside or denied. Because everyone, in my opinion, deserves to live freely and free. And that's where my passion comes from. There's no point, since I've already been accused of being too vulnerable, there was a time in my life where I really did not believe life was worth living. And I've been so close to death, in combat and things like that so many times that I've gotten to the point now where life is just such a beautiful thing. And so if you're going to live it out loud. That's one of the things I love about Gunter, man. I know it's not his show, but this brother lives out loud, right? There's no mute button. There's no volume button. It's like, and that's what I love that about him, because that's the way I want to live, maybe not verbally, but through my forms of expression. So for me, they're hobbies, but if you're going to watch me or if you're going to follow me, then I do want you to get something out of it. And what I want is not for you to get me, but through my living, I want you to find you, because that's so important, especially for young Black men. We need more audacious young Black men to say, I can do that. I can try that. And we should not be relying on someone saying you can't do that to motivate you to do it. That's not it's an effective means of motivation, but that's not the way we should be motivating our youth. What we should be saying is, why not you? Why not you? There's a million people in this. Millions of people in this world. Why can't you be the next fill in the blank? And if it doesn't happen the first time, keep going. Because ultimately, the only person that you owe anything to is you. That was something, and I'll land here, my grandfather told me. I'll never forget these words. And it wasn't on his deathbed or anything like that, but he said, it doesn't matter how many people are in the room. When it's your time, you go alone. So if you're going to leave this world alone, then what does it matter what people say while you're living? And those to me are very profound words, because I'm not going to allow anyone to tell me what I can't do. And if you're not going to be in my circle saying, why not you? Then I can't keep you in. I'll end there.
See, y'all, all you got to do is put a mic in front of them, and it's a done deal. And all you can do is just sit there like. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to read some of these comments here, and I know I'm going to butcher a name or two, but give me some grace on that. Erica from Dope Discussion says, my first time hearing and seeing T. Massey was the Protect Black Women show, and the way he conveys a thought and breaks it down is really rare. It's an admirable and enviable gift. Red Summer says, I showed up at Tony's house at 3 a.m. He was gracious enough to let me come visit my bestie while I was in town for only 3 hours. And she also says in those 3 hours we went joke for joke and cracked each other up so much his neighbors came knocking. He was family since then.
We almost got kicked out.
Okay, so I'm a mispronounce. Can you correct me on this pronunciation? Janai. Stewart says, Tony Massey, one of the few men in the world I would entrust my mother's safety and happiness to. He's a man of his word. He's intelligent, efficient, compassionate, and hilarious. Truly a blessing. And the incomparable Mrs. Saya Massey says, talking to Red Summer, you left out that we almost got put out from all the noise and laughing we were making at 3 a.m. Let's see here. I think that might be, and I think it's Beyond Destiny, maybe. Tony has always been say it again.
My own destiny.
My own destiny says Tony has always been a man of his word. I've always seen him step up where other men have slacked. And I wrote a note earlier about how I would describe you, and I wrote down classic gentleman. So, and that's really the embodiment of how I see you, and I think a lot of people see you is, you know, like I always tell my wife about her. I call her my throwback woman, because there's a time where we had codes and how we move about, and Tony Massey exudes a classic gentleman to me, all the way down to the cigar and the old fashioned. He got all of the tropes down all at once. But we definitely respect you, bro. And I have another segment here where we're going to get the guys to talk, but I do want to say this. I think as the Real Shop Talk, as we got together, when we got to, and you alluded to people seeing themselves, we all see ourselves in each other, and you're an integral part of that, man. So I know you and I have a similar trait sometimes, where when we feel bogged down, we separate and we kind of go into our little thing and we try to come back out. But I'm here to tell you again that you got your bros. We are here. We know that you and Saya are moving to LA, and we congratulate you on that move and pivoting and shifting and doing what you have to do. And even in that move, your brothers are here, and we are each other's keeper. So the next place we want to go to is, now we talked about how we first met Tony. Now we've known Tony for a little while. I want everybody to talk about how Tony has impacted your life directly after knowing him for a while now. Now that we met him and we've been on this show and we've talked, how has he impacted your life at this point? And I'll let you go again, Gunter Man.
He's a liberator. Is that a good way of saying it? The way he lives his life, the way he speaks from angles that are unique to a setting, to a group, to a panel, allowed me to see that my truth, my discoveries, my unique way of seeing things had value. You know, because I would step into these circles and I would share things from such angles that people were like, oh, I just never thought of it that way. You did that for me. You constantly do that for me. You are showing me places and spaces that tell me that it's okay to keep discovering, and then there is worthy truths in the things and the angles from which I share from. I might have been a little bit hesitant at times to share some of the things that I discovered, because they were just so different than what you normally hear out on social media. But spending time with you, you know, I would tell my friends offline, I was like, he's my favorite speaker. He's my favorite sharer. This guy right here. Now, I don't know if we will ever be as close as this, where I'm watching your video right now and tears are coming in my eyes because you're like my brother now. So when I reach out to you, I'm like, I'm always looking for your energy back. And sometimes when I don't hear it, I'm like, okay, all right. He's doing his own thing right now. He's doing his own thing. But then there's power and liberation in that too. That you are so brave and you are so centered in yourself and in your self-care that even in the midst of hanging out with your boys and you're a part of something that's amazing and is growing, that this, if you need to shut it down, that's what you're gonna do. Despite you got 4 dudes like, where he go? I'm sending him texts. I ain't hearing nothing back. Wait, he's a part of me. He's a part of my life. How are you not reaching back to me? But there's power in that because you are going to take care of you because you know the best thing for us as your brothers is you taking care of you. Ooh, that is some truth right there. Because we, on the outside of receiving it, could get caught up in what we think. Like, what the hell is that? Yo, I thought I was really there for him. You get caught up thinking about yourself when Tony ain't there. He taking care of himself. Because if he takes care of himself, the way he shows up for us will allow us to see the best version of him. And that's what you taught me. I mean, I can just get caught up. And, okay, let's keep it real simple. I'm a New York foodie. This brother cooks. Wait, I can't even do that snap. Oh no. This is it. Perfection. Yeah, I'm a New York foodie, so I'm checking out all your videos, all the different ways of marinating this, and you actually have me Googling some of the spices that you pull up. Oh, let me try this. I'm like, what the hell is that? Let me Google that and see what that is. When it comes to books, for years, my friends are saying, yo, write a book, Rick, write a book. And you got 3. You had 3. But it's not just like sitting there like looking at he's doing things that I want to do. It's that your way of living, your way of doing, your way of showing, your way of daring to do these things is once again, it's liberating me to say, do it. It's okay. There's a lane for that. There's value in that. We can get inside our own heads and hinder our own selves from letting the world see who we are. You are the Nelson Mandela in this group, bro. I kid you not. You know that poem, Man's Greatest Fear? It's not that we're inadequate. It's not that we're inadequate. It's that we don't see all the beauty that resides in us. That's what you do, Massey. You live you so we can live we. I can live me because you live you. And I salute you. I've never been a part of the military, but I have the highest respect for those in the military. I truly salute you.
T. Watts, you're up.
For real, like seriously, for real. But just hold on one second. Let me do this first. So what I just put in the comments is what Tony's name means. Priceless one, worthy to be praised. And I appreciate having this moment. And Rick, thank you for crying first. Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Damn you.
So much.
Damn you.
So much. I appreciate that so much. So, again, we talked about Yancey's group. September 2019, Tony was called out by several gentlemen about pandering because he agreed with something the ladies were saying. And I was on his side for what he said. I was like, what is this? What is this pandering thing? And in this group, it has to be about, I'm going to say a good 1,500 men. Tony went live by himself to address his comments. He went live by himself to address what he said and why he said it. And the comment was basically the person who asked the question, why aren't men checking other men on what they're doing? And when Tony first said that, his original comment was, "It's not my job to check a man about how he stands up for his girl," right? But Tony was taking it from a general standpoint. If I don't know the brother, why am I talking to the brother? So he came back and explained, no, because I had put it in my comment as well. I check my friends. My friends check me. That's what we do as family. We check each other. So Tony came back and explained all of that. He broke it down so beautifully. And he called out. He said, listen, anybody that disagrees with me, here's your opportunity to come up into the stage and have a conversation with me. And I'm not looking for you to have a conversation so we can argue. Let's work out where you are and where I am, because what we're doing is we're destroying each other by having these particular comments. So as I listen to the rest of the video, right, near the end of the video, he says, men do not confirm each other enough. We're too busy fighting each other. And Tony, today I realize why the Real Sharp Talk exists. That resonated me for a very, very long time. That statement that we spend too much time mean mugging, trying to be this dominant masculine force. And you talked about masculinity in that video as well. It was like 30 minutes of you by yourself. Some woman popped in for a second, popped out, but you handle it by yourself. And you talked about masculinity. But what resonated with me is the fact that you said, we don't confirm each other enough. We're not talking about our issues. We're spending too much time telling women, policing women on what they should be doing, but we're not being responsible for ourselves. And that resonated with me for a minute, along with my other group that I'm in. That we had a meeting this weekend, the Legacy for Men group, and like Rick will tell you, we was having Zoom meetings, and so the Real Shop Talk came from all of these conversations with men not being heard, wanting to be heard, and didn't know how to pull off this Superman cape and just be human. And brother, you showed me that being human is what we need to be. We don't have to be brass. We don't have to step in and kick the door in every time we walk into a place. We can walk into a place and just be ourselves, and people will see us. And people will see us, bro. And I deeply appreciate you for always sending in your truth. Like Rick said, you ain't got to agree with me. This is how I feel, and this is how I'm landing with it. If you don't like it, I'm not changing who I am for you. This is what I am. But if you give me information that's different from the information I currently have, I will sit with it. And if it makes sense, I will adopt it. That's growth. That's what human beings should do. We shouldn't be so stuck in our ways that we can't hear good information and adapt it to our lives. And you giving me the space to do that, especially with your books, because we'll talk about the books later. But the first time I read your book, I was like, what is this dude talking about? What does he mean? Why is he saying this stuff? But when you step back and go, no, he's being truth from his side of the fence, you get to go, oh no, this dude is serious. This dude is serious about what he's trying to do. And bro, I appreciate all the behind the scenes talk to get to know you. I don't know if you remember, we had a conversation about my transition, and you told me a lot of good stuff, bro. And it's like God said, Tony Massey, call Tony Watts. He needs this right now, and you gave it to me the way I needed it, bro. I love you for life, man. I love you for life.
My turn. So yeah, I don't have to cry because it's all joy up here. What Teddy Pendergrass say? Joy. That's what I got. I'm not gonna sing. I'm not gonna mess up. I'm not gonna mess it up like that. But nah, man. So I said it. I was a fan, right? And here's the thing. A lot of times when you're dealing with someone that is talented and is gifted, as Tony. Like you meet them and it's hard to connect because a lot of times they know that they all that, man. But me and this brother connected, like, he pulled me, like, I didn't even know what to do with myself. I'm like, wait a minute. He looked at me like his brother, like, what's happening here? Like, like for real. And man, when we first met, when we did the meetup, we both talked about it. It was so organic and natural. It felt like we had already met, like to the point that when I picked him up from the airport, LJ, my son, was still at school. And so we picked him up. Everybody met at the hotel. Then I went back to get my son. And then we came back. I didn't even do introductions because I was like, you already know all these folks. Like, it was like, this LJ, I ain't never met him. I'm like, oh, snap, my bad. Like, the vibe was just there, man. And it was just amazing. But let me tell you something about Tony likes to say he's verbose. And I'm going to agree with him. He's verbose. But there's a couple of other things he is also. He's loquacious. And he's eloquent. He's eloquent. So he just throws that verbose in there like he just be talking. But no, he be talking and saying stuff, man. And I love to hear Tony speak. I love to hear the way he's got this analogous mind where he's able to take one idea and then he's able to connect it with another idea. So they talk about in the Bible, they say one of the strengths that Jesus had was that he took heavenly principles and he told it in stories of fishermen and farming so that the average person could hear. So it's heavenly concepts with earthly understanding. And this brother takes his heavenly intelligence and connects in a way that us folks here on earth are able to, you know, pick up what he's putting down. But so, man, when I tell you though, like some people got a gift, a couple people got two. Like, T Massey, you got all the gifts, man. Like, say, man, like you just gonna get them all. Like, you ain't gonna leave none for us. Like, Watt said he was gonna get in the books. I'm getting in the books now, so y'all can hate on me now. This is part of my story. You hear me? So this is his New York Times bestseller right here. You know what I'm saying? Right here. This is the big deal. Y'all are sleeping on this one right here. You are sleep. This is satirical genius. Let me tell you something. At the end of each chapter, I'll be like, wait a minute, he gonna show me how to get away with cheating. Then at the end, he'd be like, no, it ain't gonna work because cheating. And I'm like, yo, he done this 3 or 4 chapters in a row, and he writes so well, I keep falling for it. But bro, right here, man, the tears have already been shed. But you, man, like Boaz, I sat up in here, man. I curled up on my couch and ugly cried, man, because you spoke to my heart, bro. And you are able to do that in so many ways. You know, I hear what Gunner Man is saying. I hear what Watts is saying. We're gonna be surprised by what Derek Jones got to say, man. And it's just, man, you are so amazing, and you are such a value add. You elevate our collective so much. Bro, we just miss you when you ain't around. That's all. It's selfish. We want to have more access to you, man. And we know that we cannot overstep your queen, your life, and all of that. But we just spoiled, bro. We just want more. That's all we saying, man. You are amazing and awesome. And I'm more of a fan now that I'm inside of the inner sanctum than I was before, because it's even more impressive. Like you talk, and both of us are from Texas. So, and he's from South Park. I grew up, well, we lived in Houston for about 5 years when I was growing up we were in South Acres. So, but when he tells his stories, the similarities, and I'm like, yo, this brother right here, he gets me, man. He telling my story. So I could go on and on and on, bro. We love you to life, man. You are so important to what we do. We appreciate you so much.
I'm gonna try to follow y'all, man. Y'all know I'm gonna find a way to do it, right? I'm calculating right in real time. So, and when I finish, I'm gonna read some of these comments that have been coming up. But I'll say, when you talk about impact, it's interesting for me because, like I said, I think there's a lot of similarities between us. I think our trajectories in life, even though not identical, but there's a lot of similar things. And for me, when I see Tony, when I hear Tony, when I watch his moves, when I watch how he loves his wife, when I watch how he loves on his son, when I see him move, to use John's word, elevate. He makes you want to look at like what you're doing, how you're moving, and elevate it to the next level. To be unapologetic about the moves that he makes. To be willing to try the things that a lot of us are afraid to do. And whether it works or it doesn't, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. And that's something that I take away from every time he puts a post up, every time he records a cooking video, even though, you know, I'm real good at boiling water, but I'm like, yo, this dude is doing it. Like, a lot of us have a lot of different things that we maybe can do, want to do. This dude is like, you know, I got like 16 things. I'm gonna try all of them. And y'all just gonna watch the video because it's going up. And I find power in that. That's how he impacts me. It's almost kind of like iron sharpens iron. And so when he does the stuff, it's like, if you thought you couldn't do it, you'd be like, but wait, he just jumped out there and did something I didn't even know. Like, you gotta think about it like this, right? We knew that he could cook. We knew that he's like the poet laureate of the Real Shop Talk, right? Then this dude pops out with a camera. It's like, I'm taking pictures now. I'm Tony Massey shoots, and I'm like, I'm trying to see how these things match, right? And he just like, yo, I've always wanted to do it, and it's done. And I'm like, yo, like, is this something that I need to start? Because this dude, like, you take that energy from him, the way he does it, and the professionalism that comes behind it, and you like, you know what? What are we afraid of? What are we really afraid of? And even, and I promise you, I'm about to land my plane. Even when we know, and he may know that he may be going through something, this dude shows up with class. This dude shows up professional. His voice is as strong as it's ever been because he knows that he's impacting lives. And again, I say, we all go through stuff, and you got 4 shoulders to lean on, at least. I know you have family and friends, but this crew right here, we got you, bro. And everybody on this stage can say that those words don't come lightly. Because as Guntermer says, we're all loners. So for us to lend that shoulder, that's a lot of trust, bro. And so you are definitely in our circle, independently and together. So we're gonna keep that going, man. And I do want to read these comments. I'm landing because, again, I could do this all day. Who said that? Captain America? Anyway, so I do want to, I remember your mom made a comment a while back when she was
Shout
on
out
Facebook.
to my mom.
Because she flipped over from Facebook to YouTube per Saya's instructions. But her initial comment was, Tony Massey is a man of honor. He spends time with the little ones in our family all the way up to the seniors. He is truly special. Alicia says Derek loves old fashions now because of Tony. She's not wrong, because she will tell you that I was on Amazon looking up the thing to smoke. I was trying to buy the kit and everything. I was like, yeah, man, I'm jealous. And that's the thing, right? This dude is so smooth. You'd be like, man, I want to do that too. So Red Summer says, thank you all for loving on my brother. This is beautiful. We all benefit from watching this. Let's see here. Deborah James says, and it's true to who he is all the time. He shares himself with our family continuously. Proud mom. That right there is enough in itself, right? Erica says, men confirming each other. And she's doing the clapping hands. Saya says, my first impression of Tony Massey here was a man not afraid to speak his mind, be strong and vulnerable at the same time. He stood for the protection of Black women, and he spoke so poetically. I knew I had to know more about him. After our first conversation on the phone, I knew immediately I could talk to him forever and ever and ever and ever, and we still going. Robert Gunter says, good evening, brothers. Learning is what we should continue to do with our lives, where Real Shop Talk enables us to not only learn, but continue nurture. I think that might be nurturing as men. Okay. he corrected it. Continue to mature as men, and it's all right to cry. Joy inside my tears. Stevie Wonder. Erica from Dope Discussion says, Tony Massey puts greatness and humility together. You can be in awe of what he does, but he makes you feel like you can do it too through his vulnerability and transparency. Exactly. That's a word right there. That's exactly what it is. It's like the words that he uses and the way that it comes out. When it first comes out, you're like, I need to get a dictionary. But then by the time he finishes, you're like, I get it. I get it. I connect with him now. Because he'll start off high, and then he'll go vulnerable. He'll connect with you, and then he'll sing you on this thing, and you're like, yo, I need to rewind and play that again. I got what was that word? Let me look that up. Oh my, he just did that, and I felt it. So it's magic, bro. Deborah James says, this is so awesome. I've been telling him he is special all his life. It's great for him to be recognized by his friends. He makes me feel special and protected. Hashtag my firstborn baby. Hashtag my first love. So let's see. One last comment here. Jessica McClinton says, I value my uncle for always showing up for myself and my son, in which I'm forever grateful for him. So, yeah. I mean, we can do this all night, but we not, because y'all got bedtimes and all that. But Tony Massey, we love you, bro. And I'm going to just let if you have any comments at this point, Tony, I'm going to let you say that, and then we're going to go around the room, and then we're going to slowly glide the plane down.
First of all, shout out to John for the loquacious. I know you looked that up. No, the outpouring of love is overwhelming. It really is. And I'm so grateful for my family for showing up for me tonight. I didn't really broadcast it, and I know I'm going to hear an earful for that just because I'm not comfortable in these spaces. I really am not. As much as I put myself out there, critique is not an easy thing for me to accept, even if it's positive critique, just because it feels unnatural. Even though, like I said, I come from a family that I did not grow up being told that I couldn't feel. So my ability to express my emotions is a direct result of how I was raised, because we didn't have those kind of boundaries or those limitations. And so what was weird was coming into the world and realizing that, everybody else is hiding their emotions while I'm out here just, crying and just being my free self, No, I love all of this because not just because I'm the focus, but because I think that this has to happen more. I put a post out today on Facebook declaring that I'm a grown ass man. And there was a hidden movement behind that post. And it was because I keep seeing these questions about, can a man do this or can a man do that? And there was one about, can a man smoke a hookah and all this other stuff? And it's like, as men, we live by this set of rules that don't exist anywhere except in our imaginations, right? And I think it's because so many men they either have yet to reach the maturity of understanding who they are, or they just don't know what manhood means. They don't know what goes along with it. I was telling my son the other day, manhood is a difficult task, man. And it's every day. You can't take it off. You can't check out. You can't take a break. You can't, just say, I don't want to do this today. Especially when you start inviting people into your life, either through marriage or through having children. Whether you get a divorce or not, there's still somebody out there that you shared a life with, and you have a certain level of responsibility and obligation to. And so you can't just throw people away when you're a man, even when you're angry. You know, I realize that respect is not always earned. Respect should be given freely, because I can be respectful without having a lot of respect for you. And it's my character that comes into question if I step outside of it, not your actions, right? And so thinking about all of this, that's how I express myself through the written word and through, you know, speaking. And I just put it out there. And I just want to encourage people in this moment to put it out there. Even if, you know, I tell my wife all the time, done is better than perfect. You know, if you're constantly seeking perfection, you'll never get anything done. Just put it out there and just chase your dreams with abandon. I mean, just go for it. I'm so proud of her. And I do want to steal a moment just to really big her up. My wife, when I met my wife, she didn't even know what happened in TV production. She literally started as someone's assistant, unpaid assistant, and now is about to be a senior producer for Black Ink Compton. She's produced all of these amazing TV shows. She lives by the same code that I do. If I get there, you're coming with me. She's put Tony Watts on the show. Red Summer's been on the show. Some of my family's been on the show. You know, I've been on the show many times, you know, and she understands that if the point of being blessed is to be a blessing. What's the point of elevation if no one can come with you? Because then you're up there by yourself. I want everybody to come with me, especially when it comes to young men. There will never be a time that I don't give time to a young Black man. And it's not me trying to be a father or an uncle or anything like that. It's I could be the difference between what he thinks a man is and what he can truly believe what a man is. And it's through, you know, my life is my testimony. To address the retraction, excuse me. There's a reason that I escape into myself when I have adversity. And it's because I'm still learning that I'm not a burden. And one of the drawbacks of constantly giving is that you really never learn how to receive, you know? And what I'm learning still is that you can't pour from an empty cup. And it doesn't matter how much you want to give. If you ain't got it, you ain't got it. And so God blesses you and surrounds you with all these people who are positioned to give so that you can continue to give. And so I'm still learning how to remain vulnerable in my vulnerable space and allow people into that space with me and share that space with me. And I just want to tell you, brothers, that I've had some really tight, there's some names I can call, you know, my partner Fabian and, you know, Chad and all these other people that I've had these incredible bonds with, but life has separated us, you know. They're living their lives and I'm living mine. And for God to bring you four into my life and to allow this bond to be created. And I said this before, you know, it's easy to create bonds when you're joining a fraternity or when you're in boot camp or you're going through this shared experience where everybody is stripped of individuality and you have to come together as a team, or, you know, you're playing football, you're doing two-a-days, and, you know, it's easy to bond in those moments of adversity because you have to lean on each other. And that's where that trust is built. It's very rare that men bond just on the desire to give. And I think that's what we've done. We show up here every Monday night with a sincere desire to change our world. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm so proud of us, and I'm so proud to be a part of this collective, because I truly believe, you know, this village that we've created, this point of connectivity where we've allowed these relationships to be created, even outside of ourselves. This is truly God's work. We are blessings, and we are blessing other people. And I'm just in awe of every single one of you. And it's humbling to receive praise from men that you're in awe of. You know, it's humbling for men that you look up to take them a moment and look up to you. And so thank you so much for tonight. I feel amazing, and I'm so happy, and thank you, brothers, and thank you to my family for showing up. Ma, I love you.
So I'm gonna read one comment, and then we're gonna go to Tony Watts, and we're gonna start wrapping up. So every last comments about the for the show. Robert Williams says, "My cousin's one of a kind. I try each day to be more like him. He speaks of such knowledge and wisdom." So we're gonna go to T Watts, and then we're gonna go around.
All right, so I'll be the one to begin putting the flaps down before we put out the wheels. Okay, so let me start this way. The five of you, and I know what this is about, so let me do a Derek Jones. The five of you are all of the pieces of me that's been missing. The pieces of me that my friends have been trying to get to come back out for a long time. The five of you all show me a path that is okay. Let the past go, Tone. You have greatness. Go get it. The five of you do that. And, this is no disrespect to my best friend, but he's been trying to do this for years. My godfather's been trying to do this for years. But I guess I just needed to sometimes you just need to hear that outside voice, right? Because I have a very small circle. Like I was thinking about this today. My circle is so small, it's like a period. But now it's now a bigger little ball, because I have, such wonderful brothers that have come in and really have championed my cause. Tony, I'm praying for you, brother. I'm praying with you, brother. And as we've said many times tonight, whatever fears there are of letting go and letting us love you, let them go, B. We got you. You're in a safe space. When you talk to any of us, it's like talking into a void. It will never leave that space. It will never leave that space. So, we got a lot more talking to do, a lot of more other things to continue to grow on. We got projects that we're working on. But, bro, I love you, and I appreciate the way you show up as a man consistently. And what brings my heart so much joy is when your stepson stepped in and said what he said. And I knew exactly who he was when he popped in. And I was like, this boy has an incredible mama, an incredible daddy that's in his life strong. And for him to pop out of the woodworks, to come on here and say, this man brings my mother happiness and give you all the other accolades behind it, that's strong. That's strong. Because ain't too many stepchildren trying to do that at all. So we want to commend you, bro. And, before, the water floods come in, I'm going to pass the landing gear over to Gunnerman so he could, touch. I don't know what he needs to touch next, but, touch something, because, we're going to try to land this plane. Love you, bro.
Yes, sir. On my little pad, as my man T. Watts finished up, it says family love. Family love. When I think of Tony Massey, I think about family love, because what does he do on all our shows? He quoting some uncle, quoting his mama, he quoting somebody in his family. He's quoting somebody. Somebody has told. He has paid attention so much so that he has other family member words in his mouth ready to be used. It has equipped him and it has geared him to take flight and soar. A family full of love is a family that allows their kid, their people, to be the very best version of themselves freely. Freely. Family love. You know, I remember when we were about to leave our get together, and I believe we were talking about where would we want to go next. We talked about going to Atlanta, we talked about NYC, and then something about Houston, Texas. Oh, let me tell you about Houston, Texas. Tony Massey says, all you got to do is show up. All you got to do is show up. And my family got you. You might not get a bed. He said, you might not get a bed, but you're going to get a piece of that floor and the best food and the best care you ever. See, this is what we need. You know, who knew that I would need something this more than anything else? I got my first group of boys. Like, I remember being a dancer from young age. I grew up, like I told, the loner. I don't have groups of friends that I hung out with all the time. Growing up, that I can look back and say, these are my boys. Hey, you know, hey, sweetie, I want you to meet my boys who know all this stuff about me. I don't have that. I have people that I know from back then, but none of them I had no group of friends that I hung out all the time. So trust me, when you disappear, I feel it. I feel it. So that's what this family, you are family. I'm watching a video of you and I'm tears are coming. This family, you are a representation of a person who has lived a life based on what he has been reflected on. But people's reflections and their presence has left marks on you. And that's where you share from. You have not so discovered the world on your own and call yourself great. You always quote other people, so you say, they have helped me in my greatness. We are better together. There is no achievement where I'm just achieving for myself. I'm constantly going back and bringing up the next man. And that's who you are to me. Like I said in the beginning, you are the liberator. You have liberated so many people. Feel free to lean on me anytime. Oh, you said trip to LA? Where? Compton? Oh. Where am I right now? Miami. What? I love to travel. San Francisco early in the week. What? Call a brother. Hey, yo, you got room on the floor? I don't care how messy it is. Push the pens out the side. I got right there. Give me that bed right there. Right there. Love you, man. Love you. For sure.
Yo, just real quick before John jumps in, just to reaffirm what Gunman said. There was a point where we were trying to contact you a couple of months ago, and Rick jumped in like sad. Tone, I'm trying to reach him. He won't get back to me. I said, Rick, you got to give him a minute. He said, what? Oh, okay. So that I just want to reaffirm that boy is real, what he's talking about right now.
Yeah. All right, man. How do you come after all of this that we've done, man? But you know, T Massey, you are somebody who deserves it all, man. I'm excited for the transition to Cali. I got a couple of folks out there, man, and it's gonna be my honor to add you to that collective of folks, man, because I'm overdue to get out to Cali and visit, man. So I'm gonna come out there, man. We talk about that all the time. You know, the ladies, they take girls trips and all that. We got to do a better job, man. I need to get these points up, man. So I got to get up in these skies. So I'm really excited for you and Saya, and I honestly believe I'm putting this out into the atmosphere and into the universe, and it's my prayer. You're certainly somebody professionally, man, that if you work a day's work, you are due the honor that you deserve. And so high earner, all of that. Y'all hear the DJ back here jamming? You know, high honor and all of that you deserve, man. But I always look at it like this. If you deserve what they're willing to pay you, then that means that your worth is at the very bottom level, 10 times what they're willing to compensate you, man. And you're so gifted, you're so talented, You are just so charismatic. All of these things. One, I'm team do it all. So do everything you're passionate about. But the level of you, my brother is par excellent when he does it. Like, so the level of excellence that you do that with, I definitely put that out there, that I really want to see you get out there and just go after it and be all that you were created to be. And don't sell yourself short, because when you sell yourself short, we all lose, because you have so much to offer and you're such a tremendous blessing to not only this collective, but to the world, man. So definitely putting that out in the universe. I'm gonna be in your ear, brother. I'll be listening when we was putting together reels. I remember you said if I had a theme song, I would want Freddie's Dead. So I hope you saw that we was listening. We was paying attention to your little cool music when you step in there, man. But tonight has been a blessing, man. Like, I've enjoyed it so much. I'm looking up at the clock. I'm like, we really closing it. We could do this. We could do this for hours and hours. But man, much love, bro. Love you to life, man. And it is an honor, bro. And onwards and upwards, man. That's what we doing.
Yeah, this show has been one of those ones, man. Like every show, man. Like this the true testament of our bond. It's a true testament of how much of each other we see in each other, because we do these shows and it's like, damn. Like, I'm really thinking about, like, you know, y'all did my show, we did Gunter Man show, we doing Tony show now, and it's like, when have we ever done something like this in our lives where we really, even our boys growing up, how often did we kind of affirm each other? How often did we celebrate each other? We hung out, but like this to me is more meaningful than any of that could ever be. And we need to continue to do this. And I want to, at least the people that are in the comments, there's a couple comments I do want to read before we go, but take a little beat from this and put this in your own lives, because I'm telling you now, because I was the first one to go. Gunter Man was second. Tony Massey is now. The amount of what it feels like is something that we all should experience. You want to be appreciated. You want to feel like you have an impact on other people. And I think all of us on the stage are actively doing that. But tonight was especially special because not only is Tony transitioning to yet another state, but he is he's going to do big things there too, just like John said. And so I hate to sound repetitive, but you not only go there. Something happened. I knew he froze. He's going to be back. So I'm going to pause to do the comments. This is how you do a show, guys. I'm going to read the comments, and then hopefully he'll be back by the time I finish. So let's do this. Oh, there he is. So I hope you got everything I said tonight. So I just want you to know, Tony, I think I speak for all of us, man, and I hate to sound redundant, man, but I know there's going to be some times ahead where, you know, you're in a different area and you got things that you're going to have to go through with work and all of that stuff, man. But as much as we all got things going on, man, we got some shoulders for you to stand on, man. So keep that in your mind as you go through these things. And I know from me to you, like I said, we're very similar. We both are retreaters, but this right here, it takes a certain level of trust, and we want to always be that safe space for you, brother. And that, you know, that's all of us, man. We're intertwined like a spider web, man. You touch one, you touch us all. So I'm going to read a couple comments, and then we're going to wrap it up. Kennedy Jefferson says, Anthony is probably one of the top people I look up to. I rewatch all his videos on YouTube, listen to old podcasts, and reread our texts at least every week. There's more, but I only have 200 characters. And he says, you rock. And then Lisa Russell, last comment of the night. Oh, Shani Harris says, "Who's cutting onions?" Lisa Russell says, "These are such great comments, amazing camaraderie, honoring great souls. Love watching this. Tony Massey, best wishes, and go Cowboys."
Wait, you got one more comment. You got to read
the
Jordan's
last
comment.
one right at the buzzer. Here we go.
Yeah.
Jordan Massey says, "A father that has stepped in and showed out in my life. He has paved the path of adulthood and manhood." And I will say this. I'll say this. I'm gonna look
up to this brother. He the youngest out of the 5, and we look.
Right. And you guys know that what Jordan is saying is true. When you watch Jordan, when you see how he's moving and his lovely wife and all of that, you know that the stock he comes from, man. That this dude, Tony, man, you are definitely amazing, and we definitely love you, bro. So I don't even know how to land this plane. I'm just going. We just going to hit a hard stop.
I just want to say one quick thing about my son. There comes a point where you come to the realization that your parents aren't crazy. You know what I mean? That they're smart.
Uh-oh, he froze again. So what we're going to do is, because we want him to come, but we don't want to close the show without him. So he's probably going to have to go out and come back in. So anybody have any other additional comments? If not, I am a great space filler, but I know Gunter Man is too.
My son and I.
There he is. Wait a minute. There he's not. Okay.
Tony, if you can hear me, you're going to have to go out and come back in real quick. Go ahead, Gunter Man.
I think what pops up was, I guess, is he trying to pull in that more family? Is he jumping in and not jumping in? I don't know what to do. We talk often, as you can also see, there's a thread about not only family, but also the ability to be vulnerable. You know, he's a military man. He knows what it takes to actually put his life on the line to do something for his fellow man. He knows what vulnerability really is, because in order for you to be called courageous, in order for you to be called brave, in order for you to be called all these things, get that Medal of Honor, you have to be vulnerable, put you in yourself in a position where you could be taken out to help your fellow man. And here it is. Yes, it's not as traumatic as something as the military or going to war, but he is allowing us. He's allowing us to see the benefits of being brave, being actually courageous, being vulnerable is the way that you truly love not only your special someone, but your brothers. So thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Tony Massey. You were saying something about Jordan and finding out parents being weird.
Yeah. So you come to that point where you realize your parents are not crazy and they're smart. And Jordan and I have had these epic conversations that have lasted hours, where I've always wanted him to freely express himself, right? But as of late, I'd say over the last 2 years, my son has ascended to a level of not just intelligence, but just awareness and mental agility through his love for God, where he makes me pause, right? And I jokingly tell people, I don't know how this is him becoming a minister is more of a test for me than it is for him, because ain't nobody gonna believe with my cigar smoking, old fashioned drinking, cursing behind could bring forth a minister.
All right, y'all.
Fire must have packed the internet with her, man.
And I'm gonna read Jordan's last comment. He says, "It took the Lord growing me out of my foolishness to see my dad is a lot wiser than I thought." Yeah. So let's talk about because I know he's gonna be back as soon as I start. That's why I'm gonna pause for like a second. So give us a second, guys. I want to make sure that he's able to get out his last thought before we go. Because I'm sure he may pop in on another device or something. But this has been a great show. Everybody in the comments, if you have enjoyed the show thus far, make sure you click that thumbs up for the likes. There he is.
That ain't nothing but the devil. That's all that is.
So I read your Jordan's last. I'll read it again. His last comment. It says, "It took the Lord growing me out of my foolishness to see my dad is a lot wiser than I thought."
He's still working on him though. No, I won't go on because I don't want to get kicked off again. But I just love you, son, so much. You're the man that I've always wanted to be. And if there is any motivation for the way I live, it's so that you don't have to wait till your 40s to live out loud. So keep doing that, son. I'm so proud of you. I am definitely your biggest fan. I always have been. So I'm proud of who you are and the man. Like I said, the man that you are. It's the man that I've always wanted to be. I'll land there. Go ahead, Derek.
I ain't got nothing else to say, y'all. I think we this is a good point for us to go ahead and wrap this up. So I'm just gonna I'll say to the audience, make sure that you check us out every week. We here. RealShopTalk.net, the website. You're scrolling down at the bottom. Go there. You'll see the flyers for the you'll start to see the new flyers for this month that start popping up. And you'll also get all of our profiles on Instagram, so you can go and check out what we're doing individually as well. And yeah, this was an amazing show. Every time we do these shows, we all take a lot of emotional capital and we throw it in the show, and then we go, as soon as we get off of here, it's gonna be like, and it wasn't even about us. This is who we are, guys. So make sure that you like I said, keep coming back and bring friends and family or whatever you need to bring to get this information from 5 men that are unapologetic about sharing who we are to the world. So I'm gonna land there. I want everybody to be safe out there. And again, just keep coming back. We here. And we'll see you guys soon. Next week, same time, same place. Enjoy your night.